My name is Suzanne.
Suzanne what?
Suzanne Lungbit and Cassel.
So they like shoved the Vietnamese name with the English
Do you
name.
want to see it?
No?
My ID.
No. I don't think anyone. Actually, no. You gotta be careful.
I used to be a child model here. I've modeled for Lego. And I've modeled for, this is Hong Up Ha. This is, wait.
Okay, play that. That's you.
That's me. Yeah, 12 years later.
Wow. You're
And then-
famous, dude.
There's more. This.
How do you know me? Look here.
I follow you. I've been following you.
For how long?
I say like a year.
Really?
Yeah.
And which video did you stumble across? Was it which platform? TikTok?
Instagram. Definitely Instagram.
And do you remember what specifically did you see?
No, but like I think I clicked on one and then I just, cause you were Vietnamese, I always like keep an eye out for Vietnamese.
Represent?
Like, yeah, represent. Cause like I feel like sometimes, cause we're Vietnamese.
Yeah.
But culturally, I don't think like our mindset is very Vietnamese. So I think when I find someone that like represents a part of who I am online, it's quite nice to see.
Tell the audience how old you are.
I'm 19.
How is a 19-year-old? You obviously don't. So the first guess is like you have like a very native English accent, like English level, like native English level speaker. So I'm like, either you live here and you went to international school,
Yeah.
or you're like hella loaded, and you're like just here on vacation.
Right.
So tell the audience.
So I was born here in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon. And
Real Saigonese.
yeah, my mom's a real Saigonese too. And then I went to international school here for 12 years, 10 years. And then I moved to England when I was 12. But I haven't picked up my like English accent. But then you see like when I say accent, it's like, so then I get told I'm from Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah. But I
Wait,
live,
so slow down.
yeah.
You spent pretty much Kap Mo, primary,
Yeah.
all of Vietnam. Do you remember what school you went to?
Yeah, I went to BIS,
Which is
British International School.
So you spoke mostly English in that school?
Yeah, like we were, sometimes if the teachers would like see you speak Vietnamese, they'd like tell you off.
Really?
But then there's another school called BVIS, which like you do both. So half of your day is English, half of your day is Vietnamese.
So growing up from 0 to 12, like, did you consider yourself Vietnamese? Like, you looked in the mirror, would you ever like, you don't look Vietnamese?
I don't, you know, a lot of people, like, I don't have a, like, what you call it, crisis?
Identity crisis?
Identity crisis.
So tell us more
how
about that. So, like,
about how I look, no? Because I'm half English, half Vietnamese.
So you knew that as a kid?
Yeah. And as a kid, I didn't really care. But then as I got old, because I moved to the UK, like the north of England, and like they were like really racist to me.
Yeah.
And then I never saw myself as Asian or white before that.
Yeah.
But then I moved there and suddenly I just became Asian.
Yeah.
So then all I saw of myself was Asian, even though the only one at home was my dad, which is white. And then now I don't really care because like I look how I look, I am who I am. But my mom's always told me that con là 100% người Việt, 100% người Anh. So that means like you're 100% Vietnamese and 100% English.
That doesn't add up though. From my mom's generation,
Yeah.
like người Lai is that what they called you? Like,
Yeah.
Like it used to be like a, you get made fun of because
Taboo.
you're different,
Yeah.
right? Or like, oh, your dad's American, ha 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 ha. It's back in the day.
Because this
though.
was like the war.
Yeah.
So most of the kids that would be born like that would be like from
There's a stigma,
soldiers.
yeah. But like, how about now? Like, do you remember when you're like 10, 11 going to school here? Like, were you ever harassed or bullied?
No, not for being mixed, because all of the people who I used to go to school with were either mixed. I do know a few people who are like Asian at Vietnamese school, and they seem, because like sometimes we're idolized, and it's a bit weird. Not weird, but like if I go out and someone realizes that I'm Lai, they're like, oh my god, like đẹp gái, biết nói tiếng Việt không? Ở đâu?
Growing up as a kid, you looked in the mirror in Vietnam and you're like, I know I'm mixed. Did you feel like you belong? You just felt like you belong. You're just one of them.
Yeah, because everyone at home is Vietnamese, except for my dad. So like, and my mom's family's all Vietnamese. So then for family, everyone was Vietnamese. My mom would take me everywhere with her, so then I'd speak Vietnamese, be with Vietnamese people. I didn't really care. I just knew that my dad was like English, and then I had English blood, and then we'd go to like England sometimes, and that was that part. Like I feel like both my identities are quite separate in who I am, but I definitely say I feel more Vietnamese than English.
Interesting. So then it wasn't until you moved to England that's when you're like, wait, I don't belong. Something's different.
Yeah, definitely. But then, because that's the north of England. But then, after that I went to Scotland at boarding school where there were also Asians, but not Vietnamese people. But then after that I moved to London, and in London I just felt like home again. Like I just felt like who I am here, like not Vietnamese, not English, just whatever, you know? Like it doesn't matter what I am.
And then what brings you back
To Vietnam.
to Vietnam now? Present day?
So I always wanted to do a gap year, but then I kind of also wanted to get going with uni. And since my mom's Vietnamese, she was like, just go to uni, just go to uni, just go to uni. I never went to uni, go to uni, go to uni. You have the opportunity. Okay, understood. But like a lot of people say that about me moving back too. Like, oh, everyone would die to move to like the US, Canada.
Wait, who's this?
the
Who's
UK.
saying this?
Like everyone, like just old random people that like I meet,
Not
like
even family. This is like
friends of family.
in
you know?
England,
No, in Vietnam.
in Vietnam.
They'd be like, why'd you move back? Like, I would love to move there. Why are you wasting this opportunity? But anyway, so then I went to uni, and then I just felt like, because I'm starting a clothing line here, so I need to be back. So I wanted to do that. It's easier here. And at uni, I just felt like the time that I was spending wasn't like effective. And I wasn't like, I was paying for a degree, like a certificate, not any like learning. So then I just thought, okay, maybe I need to be more mature to do this.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd take a year off. And also I miss Vietnam. I miss that a lot, like a lot.
So then-
I'm back for that.
Was your mom okay with you, your parents, being like, I'm gonna come back here?
So my dad and I actually decided it together,
Really?
like over like dinner. I just told him, and because he was visiting me in London, and then he was helping me with an assignment. But the assignment was just so like, I know I'd never need to use it, and he couldn't, you know. So I was like, I'm so done with this. And he was like, do you think it's better if like we take a gap year? Because also a lot of the time I spent in London, I wasn't going to my lectures and stuff sometimes. Because like I'd pass all the assignments, but then I didn't go to the lectures. So then,
Wait, are you still in school now? Are you,
yeah, I took a year off. But like when I go back to London, I'm going back.
your dad was cool with it, but how about your mom?
I mean, I told my mom, and she kind of. So like the thing is, how my mom and I's relationship has panned out is that, so I didn't used to get on with my mom that much, because her mindset was super like, I have a Vietnamese child. My Vietnamese child needs to respect me, talk to me like this, da da da. And the thing is, the way I was brought up, like the friends I was surrounding myself with, the language my dad and I like speak, not speak, but like respect-wise,
Yeah.
it was different to my mom's like point of view. So then, but now after I've left to England, and actually after I turned 18, as soon as like in her mind she saw, okay, Suzanne's an adult now we get on. So now she just respects whatever I choose to do. She doesn't think it's a good idea, because she just thinks if you're gonna do something, finish it. I'm living at her house. She cooks for me. She buys me stuff. Like she's still, like I feel like having a Vietnamese mother is just so, like, it's so bipolar, really. Like sometimes you feel so loved, and sometimes you feel like, what the hell, like you're getting screamed at and all this. And then
When you lived in the UK for a bit,
yeah, 7 years.
was your
So-
mom there?
No, my mom stayed here. So I only lived with my dad.
You only lived with your dad, and then how was that relationship until you came back, right?
So I lived with my dad for like 2 years, like every day. And then I went to boarding school. So I'd only see him every like 4 weeks. But it was just us two, like whenever I went home. So then, but before, when I was 12, because he was working in Vietnam, I'd only see him like in the evenings, and I was quite young, so I wouldn't spend that much time with him. But then growing up, like as a teenager, my development, I spent so much time with him. And then, so that makes it like, I think that's, now I can see
His influence.
his influence, definitely. I feel like I can really tell the different types of like parenting, because I can tell now I'm older that they both love me,
Yeah.
like a
But
lot.
in different ways.
In different ways, very different ways. Yeah. But like he mentally, he makes sure that I'm okay. Like, I don't think my mom's ever asked me like, are you okay? You know,
No.
how's it going? But my dad, like, he's like, yeah, how you doing? So yeah. I think as a child,
Yeah.
I used to have a bit of shame for, I've actually talked about this with some of my like Asian friends as well, that like, when you go to England and stuff and you know that you're English and you see how life works there, and then you come back here and you see how life works here, there's a tiny bit of like shame in like, not shame, but like you want to do better for your own country, knowing that like as a country you could be better. Like, I'm talking about like,
Shame the road, because shame is like embarrassment. I don't accept something about
Yeah.
me.
like okay, a little thing.
Okay.
This morning I was asking my mom how to get here,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, how do I get there? And then she was looking at the map. But then in Vietnam, when they do northeast, southwest,
Yeah.
it's like Đông Tây Nam Bắc.
I don't even know.
So they start with east
Yes.
or west. They don't start with north. So then she was looking at the map, and then why is Lito Chom over here? And I'm like, Mom, the north it's pointing north. So then I got a bit agitated. I was like, yeah, because in Vietnam, you guys don't do northeast, southwest. You guys do east, south, west, north. And then like little things, you know, where I'm just like, but then there's part of me that knows, okay, this is
I
just,
don't think that's shame though. I think that's like inconvenience, because like you're used to one culture over the other.
yeah,
How things work here doesn't necessarily apply to over there, or vice versa.
yeah, I'd say so. I think I use the word shame because my family thinks it's shame.
Interesting.
Like, they're like, you're not proud to be Vietnamese. And I'm like, no, if I wasn't proud to be Vietnamese, I wouldn't like move back here.
And then you visit here, but now you're living here for a year
Yeah.
with your parents, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
But how do you feel?
I feel good. I have a job.
What do you do?
I do like the operations and marketing for two startups. One's like a dining pop-up experience type of thing.
And the other is.
Fashion sourcing. Yeah.
And what do you like about being here?
About being here. First of all, the weather. The weather is much more warm. I love the sun. I'm so excited for when it stops raining and it's just sun.
Soon.
I love the sun. The food, definitely. How easy everything is. Like, you could just get from A to B in like really like a Grab, just motorbike around. Just how busy it is.
The energy.
Yeah, definitely. And then
let's
my
move-
family's here too.
Let's move on to what don't you like about here?
The pollution. But there's pollution in every city. So, but what I don't like about here, the rats and the roaches.
Giant runs. They fly.
No. And the geckos. The geckos are okay.
No, you need those because they kill
Yeah,
all
they
the
kill the
bugs.
mosquitoes. Yeah. But the roaches and the rats, how like people don't like, you see that plastic bag on the road?
Yeah.
Like,
Littering.
people just litter it, and then a bit of like the like closed-mindedness for some people, like about like clothing, for example, like, oh, you have like your midriff, and then
Yeah.
oh, she's not wearing a bra, or oh, you know, I feel like sometimes it's just not integrated into the culture that,
I think it depends on like the generation you're talking to.
yeah.
I feel like, from my POV, Gen Z here are like the most open-minded compared to even back home. Whereas if you're talking to someone like that's like older generation, then they're not gonna really get it.
But like, you see, like my mom, she doesn't really care now,
Yeah.
because she realizes, okay, I have a half-white daughter. She's gonna have that culture ingrained in her. So whatever I say, she's not gonna change. So, fine, I'll let her leave the house and what. But actually, sometimes she's like, she'll talk so much about it that I'm like, I'm getting changed. I'm done.
Why are you here? Like, why are you actually here?
Why am I actually here?
Yeah.
Okay, my clothing line.
Okay.
Um,
You just hit me up just to plug you, right? Just continue. I'm just joking.
and because honestly, my mother has health problems, and I just think the Vietnamese in me, I feel like I need to be back here, be một đứa con hiếu thảo và thương mẹ và phải like I have to be respectful, and life's short, man. Like
You had to like
never
bury the
know.
hatchet, you know?
Yeah, and you never know what's gonna happen. So I want to spend a bit more time with my mom, get to know her a bit better now that I'm not 12.
Your story's quite interesting because usually, like, the people that I interview, they have some kind of struggle. I'm not saying you don't, but like,
Struggle in life?
No, and with their like, some sort of like, what was a hard point in your life though? Or would you say this is challenging for you?
Everything is an experience, man. Like,
But that's a mindset thing, you know?
yeah. Yeah, like,
Sorry, I had to bring out the Toronto.
I think, yeah, everything's an experience. I think, because, okay, in my mindset, I was actually talking to my aunt this morning about this, that, like, you're gonna go through things in life. The only person that determines how you feel is yourself.
Yeah.
Why put yourself through negative energy and like vibes when if you look at it from a different point of view, a happier mindset, it'll happen anyways.
But who ingrained that into you, you know?
I think my dad. I think he's quite a positive thinker. I think my mom definitely isn't. I mean, she is too, because like she's like, okay, but like her, how that came about for her was because of the war. Like there were other things to worry about than mental health, all this, and but my dad, he's just like, just go through life. Shit happens. It's just there's ups and there's downs, you know. And I think just me being me. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think that's a wrap.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye
Suzanne.
bye.
Thank you.
Xin chào. How do I say? Oh, hẹn gặp lại.
Hẹn gặp lại. Tạm biệt.